Hi everyone, Namaha Namaste, welcome. I am Vasanthi. This morning I woke up thinking of how some people are morning people, some people are night owls. I am a night owl, so waking up in the morning is a challenge for me. At the same time, one of the biggest challenges in the morning is really to go from that deep sleep or maybe some restless sleep, but sleep where you had a break from grief. And so when you awaken, or at least when I awaken, some of you may relate to my experience, because I'm more of a night owl, I am not the greatest at waking up in the morning, and it takes me some time to awaken and to accept the challenges of the day, especially since having immense deep grief. And so if you are like me and you find it difficult to wake up in the morning, and the first moment of awakening is one where you question the loss, the trauma, the grief, the despair, and you think about the day ahead and all the things that you need to do, and you question why you even need to do any of them, or its purpose when you are in this place of grief. And often the question is, how can the rest of the world go on when I'm feeling such a deep loss? How can I continue to go on when I'm feeling what is happening inside me, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually? My whole being is impacted by grief. It's not just an emotional landscape, it's a landscape for the whole body that starts to shift and change and go up and down, and have moments where you feel like you've made it, then other moments where you don't know how you're going to make it through the next moment. So again, mornings can sometimes be a challenge. You may have a practice where you wake up and you take a moment in bed to first be present to waking up, be present to breathing. If you have source of a window, looking at the light coming in, seeing anything that you see outside that window, just waking up the senses, not necessarily trying to fill the morning, the moment you wake up, with gratitude, because it's hard to wake up with gratitude when you are also in a state of grief. So how can we, aside from waking, welcoming the breath, taking a moment to pause, maybe taking some small movements in the bed before awakening, wake up? So one of the things that happens with grief is there's a trauma that's taken place, and our body is very sensitive to that trauma. And one of the things that the body needs to do to protect you, because there's always this protection and safety zone, your body is always, your brain, your body, all of you is always working to keep you safe. And so one of the things that will actually start to happen is we start to do this curling inward. And it's very protective. It's very protective, just like we were in that curling inward in womb. There's this curling inward that we want to protect. We feel a lot here, but know that the heart is a feeling all around, not just here, but you might feel that ache right here. But that protection to want to curl in and stay in bed is natural. And we can actually use that safety, that protection, to help us start the day. So I'd like to share with you some very simple movements with breath that you can take to start the day. I invite you, you don't need to have a yoga mat. If you have one, it's just one of those visuals that when you see it, or even a blanket, when you see it, it's a reminder when you step out of bed, it's there. And the first thing you step on is that blanket, that mat, or something, some space that you've defined for you. Again, you don't need to have the mat. But that visual then tells me when I wake up, okay, you have a choice. How will you choose to begin the day? Turn off that alarm, go begin the hygiene practice, and go about numbly through the day with the routine, or I can take a moment to first awaken. So finding one of the most beautiful postures that we have in yoga, but not only in yoga, it's something that's very significant to us when we're in the womb. And it's this C curve, this fetal position of curling into the womb. And we're going to start off with child's pose in that fetal position, and take a moment to simply allow yourself to feel safe. So let's begin. So take a moment to transition, find yourself on hands and knees. And from here, with the wrists under the shoulders, the knees comfortably under the sit bones, take a moment, and as you exhale, lower the sit bones back towards the heels. Lower the chest, thigh to connect, let the forehead start to rest. And you can also have blocks. You can also cross the forearms and rest the forehead. And as you are in this position, take a moment to allow this safety, this feeling of safety, of being held close to the ground, touching the earth, feeling a protective bubble or space around you. Just as you were in the womb, safe, nurtured, and protected, we are in a womb of the universe. And at a point, we come to this place where we say, I trust. I trust. I trust. It's in this act in child's pose of surrendering. Surrendering doesn't necessarily mean like how we hear it used in terms of battle, where it's a giving up. Surrendering is actually coming to this place where you ask for a helping hand, where you trust, where you allow. So feel that safety, that nurturing, that protection inside you and around you. And begin to feel your breath in the backside of the body, expanding with the inhale, knitting into the center of you on the exhale. Sometimes in the morning it's very hard to breathe, and coming into this pose, child's pose, representative of the womb, can sometimes be difficult to breathe. So I invite you to open the mouth and let out as many open mouth sighs or exhales until you feel comfortable enough to close the mouth and breathe with ease. Forgive yourself. It's okay to go through grief, and it's okay to be in this state of being. Allow yourself permission to experience it. It's a natural process, grief. On your next inhale, gently come up to all fours. Find a neutral back. And then as you exhale, take the sit bones back towards the heels, chest towards the thighs, forehead towards the earth. Very slow, curling into that fetal position of nurturing and awakening. Inhaling, coming up to all fours. Exhale, curling back into that position of safety in child's pose, of trust, of surrender. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, as you come forward, start to lift your heart. Lift the crown of the head up. Let the belly softly lower. And then exhale, sit bones back. So little awakening to the back side of your heart. Let the heart draw forward, sternum lifts upward, crown of the head lifts upward. Belly softly lowers. And then on the exhale, draw those sit bones, the hips back towards the heels. Heart melting down towards the floor, to the earth, forehead to the earth. Take that flow with your breath at your rate. And as I mentioned, these are just simple movements. We just woke up to start a new day. And time starts to feel like a standstill when we are moving through grief. One of the ways we can be present with time was with simplicity of observing the breath, along with movement, to undo all those knots and stresses inside the body from grief, from that trauma and despair. We're going to add a little bit to that undulation. You're going to come forward, belly softly lowers the sternum, crown to head, lift up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And as you exhale, press the earth away, knit the ribs in, look towards your sternum, towards your heart. And then with that rounded back, take it back to child's pose. Feeling that safety, and then awakening on the inhale. Knowing that you will make it through the day. Everything must pass, all moments must pass. Can we be aware to the change? Because change is the only constant in life. And we come to this place of trust during that change, when the change seems like it's breaking the earth open for us. Another inhale here. And exhale to round. Taking it back. Open the knees wide. Walk the fingertips forward till the elbows lift off. And actively reach back through the sit bones towards the heels as fingertips reach forward. And then walk the hands towards the left side of the mat, left corner of your room. Stack your right hand on top of the left, and then draw that right hip and sit bone back towards that right heel. And observe breath into the right side of the body, into the right lungs. Again, anytime you need to open the mouth, let out a sigh. Exhale is one of our greatest tools to give us permission to dissolve, to release. Walk your hands slowly to the opposite side, to the right side. Stack the left hand on top of the right and draw back through the left hip, left sit bones, and breathe. And notice breath on the left side of the body, in the left lung. And then walking the hands back in. On your inhale, coming up. And then exhale, rounding back. So resetting the knees back, sit bones distance apart. And we're going to add a little bit to that flow. So it was an inhale in to awaken with the heart. Exhale to round. And you might continue with that flow. And some of you might decide you like to continue that journey and move the hips forward, lift the sternum up, and then round back. So option, you stay with heart lifting forward, belly lowering, or you continue that journey from cow into a supported back bend. Sternum comes forward, hips lower towards earth, and you take it back. Again, with your breath, inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. out. And this might just be challenging enough to open the body in this kind of movement. Going from that fetal position to this back bend. Do what's right for you. And then taking it back towards child's pose, again, forehead to the earth or resting on a block. Coming to that place of, I trust in my body. I trust in my wisdom. I trust in the universe. I trust in my inner light. I trust. I trust. I trust. And then slowly coming up. Draw the knees together. Sit back for a moment towards the heels. Inhale, arms overhead. Bring the hands to heart space on the exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and overhead. Drawing that vital energy into your body. Exhale, hands to heart space. Inhale, reach up and pause here. Let the arms open wide. Let the face lift upward towards sun, towards sky. And as difficult as it is to face the grief, know that you have all the strength, the courage, the wisdom within you to trust in that. On the next exhale, bring the hands to heart space. And then inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale with a gentle twist from the rib cage to the left. Let the arms lower down. Left hand behind you, right hand outside that knee and thigh. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. And the next inhale, you reach up. Exhale, bring the hands forward, down, find that child's pose again. Maybe even pressing the palms together, planting that seed of intention for the start of your new day, offering compassion to yourself. And then slowly bringing the hands down, pressing the palms together, tucking the toes, reaching the hips up and back, with your knees deeply bent, a little pedal, a little sway. Open mouth, sigh. Feel the feet pressing on the earth, walk the feet forward until you come to bringing the thigh to the chest. Bend your knees as deep as you need to. Grab hold of the elbows. Let the weight of the head, neck, and shoulders release down. And just as you took child's pose in that fetal position, feel this safety, this protection as you bow down forward with ease. Taking the hands to the shins. Inhale, lengthen halfway, lift the heart. Exhale gently to fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. And then shift your weight back. Slide your hands up to the hips. Bend the knees. Come all the way up to standing. And coming back, finding your comfortable seat. So, very simple, does not need to last the length of this video. Once you watch this practice one time, I invite you every morning you wake up to take child's pose.